Hello, all you happy people. This is the Rock Shifter, and can you guess what we're doing? That's right, we're giving my final thoughts on...
Our final thoughts.
Our final thoughts on Tomb Raider. You're gonna have to make me change the title now, thanks.
You're welcome.
So, overall, I'd have to say Tomb Raider was a pretty good game. The hype is pretty good. So yeah, let's start with the story itself. A little weird, I should say. It's not too... I know it's supposed to be the beginnings of Tomb Raider, Lara Croft. It's supposed to be the beginnings of her becoming the person that we all know and love. Because, I mean, I used to play the old Tomb Raider games. Tom used to play the old Tomb Raider games.
Yeah, I used to watch my dad play the old Tomb Raider games.
Yeah, it's generations. Lara Croft's breasts and ass span generations. But I understand, and for what it is, it's a good game, but it feels more like... I mean, I think we even talked about this before. It feels like Uncharted.
Yeah, it feels like Uncharted with, like, maybe a little mix of, like, Assassin's Creed in a way.
Yeah, and that's not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just... It's not Tomb Raider-ish.
I was used to, like, so many puzzles from, like, the old games, and this one was just, like, fight guys and do mini puzzles.
Yeah, the puzzles
and even the tombs weren't even that hard.
Yeah, the tomb... Like, you could figure out the tombs. I think the one that, the newest one that we came across, the one with the buoy, that's the one I remember.
Yeah,
Neither of us have seen it, and it took us...
quite a bit to get to.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't.
But that one was actually like a little better of a puzzle than most. Like the one with like the little light switch thing. That one, when I did it my first time, it was a little confusing because I didn't get it. But then after I got it, I was like, oh wow, that's simple.
Yeah. But so the main point of that is it's different from what the Tomb Raider me or Tom expect. But for what it is, it's good. It's the beginning of Lara Croft. It tells us, it's the tragic backstory, blah, 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 blah. And it gets it across pretty nicely. We get really in-depth with the characters. We feel, bad when somebody dies. Poor Grim. And poor
Roth.
Billy.
And Roth.
And Roth. Well, okay, I should say Alex was Billy's real name.
Yeah.
We just called him Billy because he looked like the guy from the Power Rangers. But yeah, and I mean, we could call things a mile away at some points, like when what's his name? Douchebag, jerk man.
You're just gonna get sliced up.
Yeah, like guy was like, "Oh, just go talk to him," and there you go. That's basically.
It had great foreshadowing, I think.
Yeah,
it didn't give it too much away what was happening, but you kind of got the general idea.
Yeah, it was definitely like you knew what was coming, and then you were still shocked when something happened. Like it had those nice touches, and that's something a lot of games try and do but suck at.
Yeah, like I didn't expect Billy to die in the beginning. Like he was just like, oh, it's a normal nerd. He's gonna get away, and then
Billy.
When you're like, oh, I have to go get Billy. It's like, oh, you knew.
You just knew. He was just gonna die. But yeah, the character. I mean, obviously, the development of Lara Croft herself from the beginning to the end is like dramatically changing. Like, oh, I can't do this, come save me, blah blah blah.
Little sweet innocent girl to going on her own and just kicking ass.
Yeah, it's a little dramatic, like oh, okay, I can shoot things now. Yeah, you see her go through the changes, like, oh, I just killed a person, blah blah blah. But overall it was okay. So
then again, you're stuck on that island. Pretty much the same thing gonna happen to you. You gotta grow up real quick.
Yeah. Grow some cojones. So let's actually talk about the gameplay. I thought the gameplay was really good.
Yeah.
Like, we played it on the hardest difficulty. The beginning was really easy, but it really ramped up at the end.
I definitely did.
Like, we died a lot more than...
And I can't remember the one name of the Tomb Raider game, but it was one of the first ones to come out for the PS2, with the good graphics and all that. Like, jumpy was faulty, and like a whole bunch of other things were faulty, but this one came out and nothing was really faulty with it at all.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, there was a few things here and there that went through, and when I got my playthrough, when I first played it, I had a few glitches that were just stupid, but what game doesn't have that?
Yeah, all games have those stupid little glitches, and sometimes they could be funny, sometimes they could be game-breaking, and sometimes they can force you to restart your PlayStation. But, I mean, the implementation? The implementation of, the weapons. I mean, yeah, she was carrying a lot of weapons, and they disappeared when you changed each weapon.
And somehow she was able to upgrade them.
Yeah, and, carrying all this stuff. But we're thinking about it from, an actual physics standpoint, where it's video game logic, so can't really...
Video game logic never, ever makes sense.
It never made sense. But, yeah, the, only disappointment I had with the actual combat and the gameplay was that there wasn't a lot of I mean, I understand even in the original games Lara Croft didn't do too much melee. She was more of the gun person. She had jump and shoot. She was basically Mega Man. But I don't a game like this. I mean, it wasn't until over the halfway point that we finally got our axe to be able to chop people in the head. I think that should have been implemented earlier on.
True.
But that's just me. Other than that, everything seemed pretty smooth. When it came to the graphics, everything was beautiful.
True.
I mean, nowadays, games on PlayStation, Xbox, PC, even the Wii U nowadays, everything just looks so nice. So I can't really complain about the graphics. Everything was good.
I feel like that takes away from the story in some games. Not this game.
Yeah.
But in some games, the developers worry more about the graphics, but your story lacks.
Yeah.
This one, on the other hand, the story actually went well with the graphics. Nothing was lackluster, in my opinion.
Yeah, and there weren't too many glitchy, when we would climb up the rope with the zippy thing, our leg would go into the rope, but, I mean, something like that isn't too...
Game-breaking.
It's just haha.
The simple things.
She's a part of the rope now. But, so yeah, I think that's about it. Anything else you could think of, Tom?
I just can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, next one will be Lara Croft goes to kill people instead of, I gotta learn how to kill people.
Right. Maybe this one will actually have a good set tune.
Yeah. I would like to see more tunes.
And a little more puzzles.
Yeah, puzzles. That's what Lara Croft, or Tomb Raider was. It was puzzles and jump and shoot.
Maybe
and a lock-on system would be nice. I
kind of don't like the lock-on system.
I don't know. It's just, okay, let me rephrase that. I don't want a lock-on system. I want a system.
Turnaround.
I want an easier turnaround so that when I whip out my gun, it'll at least point me in the right direction when I go to an enemy. The final boss was kind of annoying because, I would whip out my gun and I'm facing the opposite way.
Just gotta slowly spin it.
Yeah. Because then I don't want to whip out my gun, and then either way I have to turn the camera around, and it's still annoying. So, other than that, no complaints.
Not at all.
Alright. I give this game a 70 out of pie.
I give this one 3 Rosie O'Donnells.
Why would you give it Rosie O'Donnell's?
Okay, fine, I get a 3 Whoopi Goldbergs.
Goldbergs?
Goldbergs.
Good enough. This is the Rock Shifter, and I'll see you guys, and maybe with time.
Maybe.
Next LP!
Just saying, if you want to see me more, blow up my McDonald's.
Yes, blow up the McDonald's. Here's the address. We'll put it in the description below, and then just blow it up.
Yes.
Boom!
Dynamite!
Peace out.